Hello, my name is Kevin Kudo, and today for the 16-bit Let's Play assignment, we're going to be taking a look at Dragon Ball Z Call of Destiny. This game was developed by Bandai and released in 1994 for the Sega Genesis. This game is very similar to, as an example of a modern game this relates to very much, to Dragon Ball FighterZ, which is the newest in the series of Dragon Ball fighting games released by Bandai Namco, as it's known today as it merged with Namco. And that game is currently on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and coming soon to Nintendo Switch. As for games of the older generation this relates to very much, it's part of the Super Butoden series that actually started off on the Super Nintendo, the SNES, and this is actually the last game that was created for that generation. And it's one of the later entries in an early series of Dragon Ball fighting games, as it's very experimental and it's still getting grips as to what the audience is looking for. And since before this game actually came out, there were only RPGs and turn-style based games that came before it to actually play for fans of the series. So, without further ado, let's go set ourselves up a match. Right, so we have a couple of modes to choose from. On the first start of the game, we have the story mode, as well as combat with 1v1, one player versus a computer, 2 players against each other, and I believe that's an arcade mode of some kind, as well as options if you want to fool around with those at all. So let's go into a 1-player versus computer match and see how that goes. So we have a nice healthy roster of characters here to choose from. I'm not sure if anybody is unlockable for the time being, as the series wasn't really far along past the actual Cell arc, but we'll take a look and play as Vegeta, and we'll go up against Android 18. Alright, so here we have the options as to actually customize how the fight area is going to be looking and sounding. So we can change the scenery. Our options are the tournament, cliffside, rocky fields, Kami Tower, the highway, nice little island area. There's Namek, another version of Namek with a seaside, as well as a beach. But we'll just test out the beach to just get a look at the graphics going on in the background there, as well as you can change the music playing on the background too, if that's what you're feeling. There's also, you can also push up, increase or decrease the amount of life energy that you have, as well as your meter that you use for moves such as super moves or really advanced movement, things of that nature. But we'll push that up and we'll start the fight. Also here we have nice little entry dialogue going on for both sides, which is standard for most fighting games at the time. And we have nice little transformation intro animations here. Alright, we'll try backing away. But yeah, so the object of the game is to beat up your opponent and take away as much energy as you can. But yeah, as for the gameplay options, you can punch. With a certain input, you can shoot beams like we're doing right there. You can kick. And if we can get off of the ground, I can show you the more unique aspect about the game. Alright. Yeah. It is a little bit harder to control, as it is since I am playing on a MacBook and the arrow keys are quite small. Right. Yeah, so here's the unique feature about the game, is that you can take flight in the air, and there's also a line dividing. And right there we can actually see one of the good qualities about the game is that the supers are actually very nice and stylized and have a nice cinematic feel to them. And we have a nice little windscreen that should come up for the enemy. Yeah, child's play. How boring. But yeah, I will say in terms of cons that come about the game, the controls do feel somewhat stiff, and it is harder to play on this current setup of just using tinier arrow keys and a couple keyboard buttons instead of a regular or even a modern gaming controller. But yeah, that's pretty much the entirety of the game. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye, and hope y'all keep on playing.